Hi everybody, it's Lisa Murray here. Hi my sweet lifers. Listen, I've got a special treat for you today. My friend Frank is back with quick passports. If you guys were following the channel and have been following the channel, you'll remember that he came and visited with me right at a year ago. And we've both, being in the travel industry, seen so much craziness up and down and all around and changing policies and protocols almost daily and weekly in different industries. And so I wanted to invite him back today to visit with me and you guys about passports, because that's what he does. And so many people have been asking me about how long it's going to take and what the rules are, and so many have waited and waited and waited. So thanks for being here again.
Yeah, thank you. It's been hard for the business. I mean, starting in March of last year, they closed the passport agency, and they maintained that closure until October or so of last year.
Right.
And then they started reopening for long-term service. No more hand carry, which is what we used to do before March of last year. And then finally, we're starting to do that here in September, the first week of September, where we're actually able to hand carry passport applications and have them returned within 1 to 2 weeks. And they come by mail to my office. But 1 to 2 weeks is a big improvement compared to 3 months or 5 months, which it was taking, in part because of they claim delays with the post office and short of staff, where they didn't have a full staff within the passport agency. So now at least we can enter the lobby. We still cannot go to the fourth floor where the big waiting area is.
Okay.
So we have a drop box. We have the lobby, and we're following all the procedures. We have to sign in and show our badge. So we are fully registered still with the passport agency. It's something that we have to renew this registration, and we just renewed it in December. It's every December that occurs. But it's good to see that we're able to do this again, because people need it, sometimes within a day or two. I mean, they really have a need to travel. So
well, and the other thing that happened, Frank, is crazy. I had a friend who was in the travel business, in the airlines business, and she left the business and went and started her own company, which is like so many people that I feature on the channel. And she called and she's frantic because her daughter was planning a trip to Mexico, and they were flying on, I think they were flying on a Mexican airline. I don't know which one. And
probably Mexicana, or Aerolíneas Mexicanas.
Okay, it was out of Intercontinental in Houston, and the father's passport was going to expire in less than 6 months. It was still valid, but in less than 6 months, and that airline would not let him fly. So he had to cancel his flight.
Because it was less than 6 months?
Yeah,
oh.
It was valid, and it was valid at the time of travel, departure, and all of that.
I thought Mexico was more lenient with that.
I don't know. It was the airline. So he canceled that flight, got a flight with United, and left like a couple of hours later, because United's policy isn't going to make you be within more than whatever the 6 month window is. But there's so many people, they don't pay attention to their passports.
But Mexico, it's been open all along. They've been real easy with people visiting. I went myself to Mexico about a month ago, and I mean, they don't require anything other than a passport. And then to come back to the U.S., the U.S. requires that we get tested.
Right.
And the hotels are now, the Mexican hotels are now arranging for all that in a waiting area the day before you leave, and they make it real easy. Yeah.
Well, I've got the travel business, and that's one of the things that all of my resorts that are vetted through Alisa Murray Travel, they all do this, what you just said. They've got it all set up so it's easy. I mean, you go, you enjoy your vacation. Right before you're supposed to fly, they test you at the resort, and if you happen to test positive, you quarantine at the resort. And so, fortunately, I haven't had anybody that's had to quarantine at the resort.
I didn't see that either.
Everybody's tested negative and gotten back on the flights and come back to Texas, but it's there. If you end up having to be there, you've got to be quarantined at that resort. But they're not kicking you out of the resort. They're going to let you stay at the resort. You're just going to be
I never saw anybody quarantined. I mean, everybody enjoying their time in the pool, and even in the gym. At the gym, I mean, at the gym you wear your
mask.
But I'm glad to see passport business is picking up again.
Yeah, I am too. And how long do you think the backlog is, or have they got that figured out? I mean, obviously, if everybody was trying to get it, there's got to be.
If you were to do it on your own, I mean, you're still looking at 3 to 5 months.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage of using somebody like me who is registered, because you can cut that to 1 to 2 weeks.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I only use you.
Yes.
All of my people call me whenever they need their passports, and I always call Frank. There's not any of this do-it-yourself stuff happening. In fact, people that use me to do their travel obviously know better than to try to do it themselves, because they're like, hey, Alisa, just fix it, and we want to go here, and this is what we want to spend, and this is what we're going to do, and so it's easy, and
now,
I just handle it.
There is also another way of doing it, which is more difficult, which is actually calling the 1877 number for the Department of State and book up an appointment, or for you to actually go in person to the passport agency in Houston. But to get through in the line system is really difficult.
Yeah, I would imagine.
First you find a busy signal, and if you are able to not get the busy signal, you go straight into a holding pattern for an hour, 2 hours.
Wow.
It's really hard. And then when you finally get to talk to someone, you get into like a filter. I mean, they start asking questions. I mean, when are you traveling? What's your purpose? And they try to filter people out. So it is hard. Yeah. But it's another chance that people have.
Well, you know, you've got global entry, don't you? Do you have the global entry?
I don't do global entry. I mean,
so I've got global entry. James Everett's got it. Brian's got it. I know that that's not passport stuff, but it's just easier getting back in when you're trying to go through customs.
Because instead of being in the fast lane.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I haven't had to check to see, and no one's asked me to check it. And obviously, you probably don't know because you're not doing it. But I wondered if they had the same problem.
But I get questions like that all the time. Yeah.
I was thinking they probably had the same issues that you had.
But when I went to Mexico about a month ago, I mean, I was able to get around, move around really easy without using it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you seen, you've been traveling. I haven't been traveling. I've been staying here in the Sweet Life Garden and taping for the show and everything, hanging out.
You need to go to Mexico.
I do.
Yeah.
I've got plans to go at some point, either late this fall.
How about internally? Have you traveled within the U.S.?
Yeah, we went to North Carolina to visit family back in June, as soon as James ever graduated from high school. And it was really interesting state to state, the differences. Because when we were traveling, Texas still was wearing masks in restaurants and out and about at grocery stores, and we got off that plane in North Carolina and everyone was just walking around like nobody was even in a pandemic. I mean, like everybody was walking around.
There's politics involved there too. I mean,
state to state, it's just crazy different. And so when we got back in the plane, of course we wore our masks in the plane, and then got back to Houston and people were wearing masks again. So it's just, but now we've kind of not done that as much.
Right, but you look relaxed. I mean, just like me. I mean, I don't like masks either.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, I've got heart disease, and Brian's got diabetes, and so we are in that group that you got to be careful. And of course, Mom's in her 80s, and so when we got to see her, she had been vaccinated, and we were felt safer with her being vaccinated too. But with the new Delta coming out, and every day it's just different. I've had so many friends who've had the vaccine that have gotten COVID. Now they haven't gotten it bad.
Not serious, right?
But they've gotten it enough to be down for at least a week, like you would be with a regular flu.
Yeah, I went through it myself, and I'm glad it was easy for me. I mean, I lost smell and taste a little bit, but that was about it. Itchy eyes. But it went away. I kept my routine of working out. I go to Memorial, through 2020, almost every day going to Memorial. And even with COVID, I was able to do my 3 miles within 30 minutes.
Yeah, as long as you've got no problems with your breathing, that's the main thing, is the whole lung issue. Right, when it settles in your lungs. And then I have 2 dear friends right now that have pneumonia. They got it, and then they ended up getting their chest x-rayed a couple of days ago, and they both got pneumonia in both lungs, and so we're praying that they'll be okay. But
right, because those are very delicate situations.
Yeah. But, even then, we can't stop.
Exactly.
We have to be able to do things. I mean, I've definitely, by no stretch of the imagination, slowed way down. I mean, normally I would have been going and blowing, but I did cancel the travel conference to Mexico. I did do that.
When was that?
It was supposed to be the end of August.
Okay.
And our married children got COVID. Vaccinated and got COVID here. And I was like, I'm not going to, as Mama Bear, I'm not leaving the country with children that have COVID. I don't feel comfortable.
How old is he?
20, they're in their 20s.
Okay.
23, and my daughter's 22, and my son-in-law's, no, they're both 22.
Yeah. In my case, I went through COVID, but my wife and my 19-year-old kid, they didn't get it.
And they were in the same house.
We're, being in the same on the same roof.
Wow.
It's who knows what's going on.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm just so glad that they've got it starting to kind of creep back into the normal pace.
Right.
Because so many people were like calling me. They were like, "Hey, can you write about this in your column?" Because I write for the magazine. Like, "Hey, can you write about this? Can you give us the protocol? Like, how long do we have to wait? Is it another 3 months? How long do we have to?" The people have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and so now it's nice that it just recently hit, that we're able to basically just give you a phone call and you can just make sure it gets done within a week or two.
Right. Now, how about the cruise, the cruise business? And are they starting to reopen?
They have. I have a client that is leaving to go on a Viking cruise this fall. Of course, protocols are everyone has to be vaccinated. The entire staff is vaccinated. Everyone on Viking is vaccinated.
But you're able to book a trip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was actually on the phone last week for another client with both Crystal, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival. And all of those cruises are up and running and booking.
Right. And there are 3 of those leaving from Galveston, right?
Yeah.
But you get involved with more than just Galveston, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm worldwide. I'm all over the place. The clients with Viking are over in, Europe. They're on
Viking
cruise.
is specialized in Europe, huh? Right.
Yeah.
Going to the Norwegian area.
Yeah.
And those guys know what they're doing with the ships.
Well, they do. And the more money you spend, the better things are. That's just my own personal experience with the whole thing. I mean, I hate to say that, but it is what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Whenever when you're dealing with a staff ratio per visitor of 1 to 2 staff members per visitor, you're going to be taken care of a whole lot better than if you're on a big old cruise bus.
The same thing happens in Mexico when you go to these famous hotels. They're VIP areas and more common areas.
Yeah. Well, and I always try to put my clients at the preferred clubs. When we're doing different resorts, I try to put them in different places where they've got a little bit extra stuff. And when the restaurants shut down in the middle of the day to flip for the evening, they can get food around the clock at a private section. Yeah. Plus the drinks are better too.
Oh yeah.
They have top shelf alcohol in the preferred areas as opposed to by the pool.
Nice. Just like this, right?
Yeah, just like that. For those of you guys, obviously, that are watching the cooking channel and all my Mason jar martini.
This is good, guys.
We are always making drinks, and Carl just loves that part of the show. He's just all into that. Yesterday we made a spiced pear martini.
Oh wow!
And he really liked that. I did some cinnamon and sugar.
Real pears.
Oh yeah. I blended real pears. I did the whole recipe for the channel, and everybody just loves those things too. We did a minty mango margarita last Friday.
Wow.
And that was really good. That one was a really good drink.
Yeah.
The recipe's out there on the channel, so you'll have to check that out when you get a free moment.
I'm just glad that you invited me. That's to let people know what's going on.
Oh, I'm just so glad to have you. And listen, I'm going to have everything that you guys need. You already can find him on the other episode, but since this is going to be actually upcoming, I'll have all the information on how to get a hold of you. And of course, you can call me or text me as well. And for those of my clients that are...
But the best way is my cell phone number, which is 713-825-3609.
Yeah, it's in my cell phone too. Usually I just screenshot you and send a text. When they call and say, hey, we want to go somewhere, the first question I ask is, what's going on with the passports, and have you gotten your vaccine? And once they've answered those 2 questions, if there's anything that needs Frank, I'm sending them to you straight direct, because that's the way to get it done. There's just no point in trying to do it any other way.
I am fully registered with the Department of State, so when I enter the federal building in downtown Houston, I carry my badge. I high-five with the federal marshals that carry big guns there. Yeah. So yes, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I know you are, and I'll be so glad when it's full swing. I mean, like it's creeping. People are calling. People are coming in for photo shoots with their families. I've got the pumpkins out.
Is that right?
Christmas trees going up next weekend. There's lots of things happening. Things are starting to kind of move.
Yeah, people are getting tired.
Yeah. It's moving.
People are itching.
It's moving. It's all good. So, well, thanks for being here today and sharing that information. And guys, if you need to get your passport updated, or if you don't have one and you need to get one to start with, just give Frank a call or give me a text or a call, and I'll get you hooked up to Frank, and then we'll get you all set so that you can travel. And of course, don't forget to call me to book the trip too. So
yeah,
for sure, because
she's good.
I love doing the travel stuff. I just love being a travel agent. It's been a fun part of my trifecta of stuff that I've
And you've been doing it for a while now.
Oh yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
I love
call
it.
her too.
Yeah, we call each of us. We'll make it happen.
Right.
So if you guys have found any value, do us a favor, like and share. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we'll see you soon on another Martini Talks. Take care.